Hey Snacks and Isas, welcome back to my channel, Pack Snacks First, where today I'm going to be talking about all of the Disney World parties, and if you decide to go, how to make the most of your party day with little kids. Okay, I have my good friend, Mickey Pumpkin. You saw my last video, you know that I carry this all through Kohl's, and it's heavy. He's a big boy. Okay, let's get into it. If you don't know me, my name is Paige. I'm the creator of Pack Snacks First, a channel where I talk about all of my tips and tricks for traveling with little kids. I am a Disney travel advisor, and I also am a mom to two little kids, two little girls, ages 2 and 4. So I get it. I am a parent as well, and I'm doing all of the things that you are doing, and I'm reporting back here on the front lines on what works. So today we're going to talk about the Disney World parties, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and then the 2 Christmas parties, Jollywood Nights and the Very Merry Mickey Christmas party. I don't know why I can't remember that, but I should be able to. But anyway, so for all 3 of those parties, if you don't know, they are separately ticketed events. So that means you buy a separate ticket in addition to your park tickets for your Disney World trip, and you go later in the night. In my last video, I talked about all of the hangups that you might have and reasons why you might not want to go to one of these parties with little ones. But in this video, I'm going to talk about if you decide to go with little kids to one of these parties, what you can expect and ways you can try to mitigate these hangups or, downsides, I guess, for having little kids at these parties, ways that you can make the most out of your party day and have a really good time. So one of the first thing that I talked about, and probably the biggest issue for a lot of parents of little kids, is that these parties are late. They run until about 7 o'clock until midnight, sometimes even later, and that can be pretty crazy. Like some of you watching this are like, absolutely no, like I make it, it depends on the age of your kid, but it also depends on the temperament of your kid, how they do, if they're flexible at all. If you're a sleep trained, scheduled kid, this might not be, you might want to wait a couple years. But for this video, if you are deciding to go and you want to say, hey, maybe, there's only one way to know if they do well in this situation, that's to let them stay up late. So if you decide to go, then this is something, even if you are an adult, I recommend doing on a party day, is treat it like a rest day. So don't try to do a park in the morning. You wake up whenever you wake up. A lot of times for kids, you're waking up early anyway, but try and just have a pool day. Walk around your resort. I would say at most, you can do like a character breakfast somewhere close by. And I would prioritize, for little kids, prioritize a nap in the room if you can do it. I think a lot of times kids can get by on these trips with like stroller naps or napping in the car if you're renting a car, something like that. But I think whatever you have to do to make sure they get a good nap, my strategy is always take them to the pool, take them outside, give them a lot of outdoor time in the morning close by so that we can make it back, have like a little meal, a little lunch or a little brunch, make it back to the room, make everything nice and quiet, read some books. For my kids, we all just lay in the bed together, and it's kind of like roulette. Whoever falls asleep, falls asleep. And on a Disney trip, 9 times out of 10, we all fall asleep. Actually, I do too. But that, I would say, prioritize your rest during that day, and that will serve you well for later in the day when it's time to go to the party. When you are at the party, you can go starting at around 4 o'clock. You can get in with your separate ticket, even though the party doesn't actually start until about 7. So that means you can enjoy all of the Magic Kingdom, or if you're going to Jollywood Nights, Hollywood Studios offerings before the actual party starts. There will be some overlap with regular park guests as well. So if you really want to do something at that time, you can. But my next tip is going to be, do not feel pressure to go to the entire party. So that goes for later in the evening. So when your kid is tired, if you are not getting, you're not going to get anything more out of it doing one more thing, you don't need to push it that hard. If you've hit your priorities, which I'll talk about those later, but if you've done the things you want to do at the party, if you've gotten the vibe, if you've, figured out what it's all about and you've had some fun and your kid's starting to melt down, call it in. Go home. I don't care if that's 9:30. I don't care if that's 12. Your kid might last the whole time, they might not, and it's okay. You don't, just because you paid for this whole time, you don't need to like get your money's worth. I know I'm guilty of this. I'm tempted to be like, we have to go at the very beginning and the very end, and we do the whole thing and all of it, and we're doing everything. You don't need to be miserable, okay? It's your vacation. You paid for it, but you paid for the experience. So you want to make it a good one. And that goes for also, though, going on the front end. If you want to go at 4 o'clock, go for it. If you want to get dinner somewhere else and come on in at like 6 p.m., that's fine too. There are no rules on when you have to be there just because you bought this ticket. You're not going to have a bad time because you don't go the whole time. You're not going to have a good time because you go the whole time. It really is up to you, and you can have free will, make your own decisions on when you are going to the party with your little kids. The next tip I'm going to give you is for the day after the party. So if you know, if you're a parent, you probably do. When your kid stays up late the night before, sometimes they'll be riding high and they'll be fine. But then it's the next day that you have to watch out for because they are little cranky monsters sometimes. Sometimes they're fine. If you have a kid that bounces back after a night out, then that's awesome, and have fun. But my kids do not. My kids are cranky. They still wake up at the crack of dawn. They still wake up early. Even if they went to bed at midnight, they will still wake up early, and we will still have to be up then, and we'll have to be dealing with the big feelings. So my strategy for the day after is very similar to my strategy for the day of, which is kind of treat it like a rest day. Don't try to rope drop anything. Don't try to do early entry. I would say just go to the park. If you want to go to a park, go whenever you wake up. If you don't want to go to a park that day, that's okay too. If you would rather maybe do a park later in the day, that's fine too. But again, I would say prioritize that nap in the room if you can, because your kids will need most likely to catch up on sleep that day, and I think you will all benefit from getting a nice, good rest time, nap time in the room the day after your party. The next thing that's a big hang up for people that are going to parties is the sensory overload. And this one is, I'm mostly thinking of the Halloween party when I talk about this, but this applies to Christmas as well. There at nighttime when things are dark out, things can be a little bit spookier for kids. Things that would not normally scare them during the day might be a little bit scary for them at night. And just acknowledging that and knowing going into that you might have to have a little more patience. If your kid doesn't want to ride a ride that you thought, oh, this is going to be so fun, you were looking forward to it, and then they just don't want to do it, or maybe they start freaking out on it, that's okay. Just know that is very normal. Your kid is not unique in that. And then the other thing is fireworks. A lot of kids are scared of fireworks. My kids are scared of fireworks. And so prepping them ahead of time, knowing that if you are going to try and watch the fireworks, like from Main Street or something, maybe bring some headphones for them, some of those noise canceling headphones. My daughter is 4 and she still likes those. It's just like a little extra security for them. A lot of the other stuff is just prepping your kid ahead of time. So watch videos, watch other other channels about the parties. There are a million YouTube videos about the Halloween parties, Jollywood Nights, about the Mickey Magic Kingdom Christmas party. There are so many videos you can watch, and it's exciting to watch, but it's also great because it gives your kid a chance to see what they can expect. It'll be dark out. There will be fireworks. Jack Skellington will be around, and maybe that's a scary guy. Maybe the Hocus Pocus characters seem a little bit scary. So it really gives you a chance to see what you can get excited about, and also what you can kind of prep the kids about ahead of time. My last tip here is to set priorities. This is what I tell people during a park day too, but set priorities for your party time. Watch those vlogs. After you've seen those vlogs and gotten excited, pick just a couple things. Truly, like, the minimum amount of things that you want to do really, really badly at the party. Maybe it's a snack you want to try. Maybe it is a character you want to meet. Maybe it's a ride you want to try and go on. Maybe it has a special overlay for the holidays or something like that. But pick like 2 to 4 things, I would say, and get those done first. Get them done. You will get those done and you will still experience a lot of other things as well. It won't be like that's all you're doing, but this sets expectations because you're not going to be able to do it all, and you're not even going to try because you're going to have your priorities and you're going to stick to them. You're going to do those things, and then it feels like everything else is a bonus. It doesn't feel like you're missing out, which is very easy to do at Disney World. Feel like, oh, we didn't get to do that. Oh, we met every single princess, but we didn't meet this one. That kind of thing. This will give you the opportunity to say, okay, well, we met the people we wanted to meet. We saw, we ate, we did what we wanted to do. And we got to do this, and we got to see this. It just reframes it for yourself and also for your kids, so that you can walk away feeling like you had a great experience. Those are my tips. Those are my tips and tricks. Share in the comments. Tell me what you think you would do with little kids, or what you have done in the past with little kids at some of these parties, at these specially ticketed events. But that's it for this video. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything new, and talk to you later. Bye.